Everyone, I wanted to talk about righteous anger today because righteous anger is an oxymoron. It actually doesn't exist. Anger is always evil. Wrath is always evil. Anger happens, right? It's unexpected, right? Like a spark, it's uninvited, right? It's sudden, it's hot, it's like instinctive, it's from our reptilian brain, but doesn't make it righteous. It doesn't make it wise, okay? It does not make it a guide. Anger is simply a signal that you feel like a boundary has been crossed. But when you feel like a boundary has been crossed, it doesn't make it right. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are just feelings. So what remains true is that we do feel like this. We feel like a boundary has been crossed, but there's always another point of view of what happened and what defines us as good or bad people, good or bad human beings, is what we do next. Okay, so anger is never righteous. Anger itself is the greatest evil. Righteousness is what we choose to do after the anger appears. Righteousness is transforming that anger into love, love for all involved, the victim, the perpetrator, and everyone affected. So when we pause and we breathe and recognize our anger for what it is, okay, a mind reaction from our reptilian brain from before we became humans, it's not a moral compass. We can just realize this is just a mind reaction. Then we can create space for something far more powerful, which is love and compassion, clarity. And this all takes far more courage than just feeling your anger. So many people say they're peaceful until they're pushed too far, or say they're peaceful until somebody crosses a line, or they say they're peaceful unless they need to defend themselves. But the moment we keep a plan of violence as any option whatsoever in our back pocket, we are already violent. Okay? It's like saying somebody who pays for their product most of the time, but sometimes steals. Understand that that's a thief. Okay? If somebody who lets most people live but sometimes kills, they're a serial killer, period. Okay? So somebody who is mostly peaceful but sometimes violent, they're violent, period. Okay? There's no such thing as mostly peaceful. Okay? True peace has no plan for violence ever. Goodness has no plans for violence ever. Ever. Okay? Everybody has a plan A of being a good human being. Everybody, right? From the best person to the worst person, everybody has plan A of being a good person, right? They're going to be loving, and kind as plan A. But evil people have a plan B. And if plan A doesn't work, then they'll be aggressive or violent or something, right? And that's what evil is. It's having a plan B if love doesn't work. Good people don't keep violence on standby just in case. Goodness means there's no violence as an option ever. And because of that, it is the most courageous path. Cowards use violence. Cowards use aggression. Violence can be in many forms. If you're yelling and screaming at somebody, you're being violent with your words, okay? It can be emotional. When you're giving somebody the silent treatment and you know it, right? You're being violent with your emotions, okay? But most especially when you're causing physical harm to somebody, then you're being physically violent, which is, of course, the worst of all. So when all of our options, every single one, are rooted in love and kindness and compassion, then peace becomes who we are, not what we prefer, right? Not plan A. Choosing love doesn't mean letting people harm other people. Compassion is not about permissiveness. I'm not talking about permissiveness at all. We can hold people accountable without hatred. We can hold people accountable with love, right? It's all about our intentions. So do we want to hurt them or help them? If we want to hurt them, we're evil. If we want to help them, we're good. And the test of a human being is when we're confronted by people who oppress us or hurt us or challenge us in any way. And that's when we're tested if we're a good or better person. And I use these terms as temporary. We all have, evil times and good times, right? We dip into these evil paths. Like when anger arises in us, like anger sometimes arises in me, right? At that point that anger has arisen in you, you're on an evil path. Okay, recognize it, and you need to find your way back to a loving and caring, compassionate path. We can set boundaries without vengeance. We can protect society without becoming what we fear. When somebody commits harm, we need to remove them from situations where they can hurt other people, right? You put them in jail. That's not revenge, it's being responsible. That's caring for our community, and ideally also caring for the person that caused the harm, because cycles of violence do not end by allowing people to add more violence to the world, right? So we need to put them in jail until, we can change things. Right now we have a recidivism rate that's very, very high. I know that when they've done research on this, when people practice Vipassana meditation in jail for Vipassana for 10-day meditation in jail, the recidivism rate drops down to nearly zero. So there are ways that we can help these people. And that's only 10 days. So that's all it took is 10 days. But anyway, accountability is not about, punishing these people. It's about helping them. You want to help these people that have hurt you, right? When you love them, you want to help them. Accountability is about preventing future harm to themselves and to other people, right? Because if they hurt other people, they're always hurting themselves. Accountability is about protecting people. And so when our intention is about preventing future harm, not to get even or retaliation, then and only then can we act from this wisdom and not anger. So the real work is this. So to just notice that anger when it arises. You don't want to deny it. You don't want to bury it. And you don't want to honor it. Okay? Just let it be a messenger. You feel like a boundary has been crossed. Whether or not it's true, you feel like this. Right? Feelings are not facts, they're just feelings. There's always another point of view. And then you need to transform it into love and clarity and compassionate action. Right? Because everybody wants to do the right thing. Everybody wants to do things with love, even the worst of people, actually. But it's what you do when that doesn't work that defines who you are as a human being. The world does not need more righteous anger. Oh, it's full of righteous anger, and it's not doing any good. It's just full of creating riots, and that doesn't solve any problem. It needs more righteous love and peace and kindness and compassion, and just calm down and breathe. It needs people who refuse to let violence, physical, emotional, or verbal, have any part of their solution. Peace is not the absence of anger, it's about recognizing it as an evil path. People fall into evil paths, and then what you need to do is find your way back to a loving path. I hope this is helpful. Like and subscribe.